Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Retro PC. What I have in front of me here is the Dell XPS M1210 from 2006. This is a fantastic Dell XPS from the mid-2000s that I've actually had in my possession for quite some time. The reason I haven't unveiled it or reviewed it until today was because of the fact of when it came out and the features that it has. This is right on the cusp of not really yet being nostalgic or retro by any means. It's starting to, though. The reason that I kind of was hesitant to talk about this was twofold. One, two key features, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. The other thing was the ports. This is all USB ports and VGA, S-Video, and that's it. There are no serial ports, none of those old school ports we know and love. So there's no reason for me to show you around this thing because there's really not much to look at unless you want to look at a bunch of USB ports. I mean, those are on laptops today. S-Video and VGA not so much, been replaced with HDMI, but still not nostalgic or retro, at least for me. There are some cool features on this though. This was a time where your computer also subbing as a media center was a big deal. Across the front here are media buttons. That was not uncommon on Dells at the time, except I find these to look a lot cooler. Why? They light up in blue, which is sweet. Not that the other ones didn't, but they didn't light up like these. You got your stop, fast forward, rewind, play, and all your volume controls that you would expect. And a media direct button. We'll get into that in a little bit. But this was geared heavily towards being a media machine. I mean, XP made a Media Center Edition OS around this time too. So having your computer be a DVD player and being able to do all those things that you could do like a portable home media station was a big selling factor at this time. This computer did originally come with Windows Vista. Unfortunately, when I bought it, it did not come with the original OEM Vista disk, so I did the next best thing and I put Windows XP Professional on here. Seems to work great, and for the most part I have all the drivers I need, with the exception of Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. I cannot seem to get those to run, however, I'm not too worried about it. There are a ton of drivers online I can still get for this, which I will likely do. Diving into a little bit of the specs and cost. Now, when this came out, this could carry a price tag of up to $2,400. That was for the maxed out version. A starting entry-level version of this machine was around $1,300. Judging from the specs this one has, I would guess this was around $1,500 to $2,000 tops. That is because it is not boasting some of the max specifications that it could. Taking a look at just the basics here, we are running an Intel Core 2 Duo T5600 at 1.83 gigahertz. Of course, we have the XP Professional Service Pack 2, which was not the original install for this machine, but it does just fine. In fact, I think I prefer the XP edition. However, if I can get my hands on a Vista OEM disc for this, I will most definitely make the switch, as that would be awesome for obvious reasons. Unfortunately, it just didn't come with it. Taking a look at the device manager. What we have here is the mobile Intel 945GM Express chipset. A lot of specifications will state that this comes with a GeForce 750. I don't think mine does. Or at least it's not reading it here. Nothing big on the monitor here, just plug and play monitor drivers. We do have a DVD RW drive, which is awesome. There's a 120 gigabyte hard drive in here. It is a SATA, not an SSD or anything like that. It has not been upgraded. And then of course we have that T5600 Core 2 Duo CPU. That's about it as far as specification goes. I mean, there's not too much to say about this, in all honesty, but Again, it does play games great, and there is a couple of cool things about this machine. And one of that is being what it came with, and that is a lot of the original stuff. Unfortunately, with the exception of the OEM disc, Install OS. But one thing we did get, which I find really bizarre, is this gigantic setting up your computer poster that I can't even fit in the frame here. But I mean, this is just, I mean, what are you supposed to hang this on your wall? I don't know. But a huge computer setup, configuration, how to plug in your Ethernet cord, all this. I mean, why this exists, I don't know. But it does. One of the cool things I find that I don't have with this model is the optional camera here that you could hook up on the top. Really wish mine came with that. It definitely doesn't. And then on the back here, just a little bit more specifications, but I mean, it's so just obnoxiously huge. Maybe I should hang it on my wall. I don't know. I find it funny nonetheless. Another thing that's really cool is the original owner's manual came with this, which couldn't be happier about. It is a big one. This is running around 200 pages of specifications, approximately. But, I mean, awesome. I'll take it. I do have a ton of games on here, and all of them run flawlessly. One I want to pay particular attention to is one of my favorite racing games of all time, Viper Racing. I'm going to shoot this disc in now, and let's just take a little bit of a look at how it operates and performs. If you've not played Viper Racing, I highly recommend you do so. This game has a large following still as far as a modding community goes. Not something I've ever been involved with, but it was pretty fun to read about and stuff in regards to, you know, a big community really enjoying the customizing aspects of the physics of the game. So pretty cool that that does exist. If you're curious, other games I have on here are Comanche 4, Trophy Hunter 4, Jedi Knight, all which run just amazingly. We'll just do a quick race here. I gotta change the track up though. My favorite was always Sunset Mesa. And we'll do my classic flamed out Dodge Viper. This game is so nostalgic to revisit every time I play it. Every once in a while I'll try to get involved and try to play it all the way through. Of course, if I'm going to play it for real, I wouldn't use the keyboard. I would hook up a gamepad and really try to get into it and play well. One thing that I always loved about this game was the damage module on the car is just incredible. This was at a time where you really didn't have a lot of games that showed damage on your car, at least not like this one did. And I'll show you exactly what I mean here in a minute because my car's already just roughed up. So notice my front end is just smashed in there. My back end is gone. My axle's gone. You can easily reset, of course. But I had a lot of fun smashing my car up as a kid more than anything. Like, just look how this damage is just nuts. Oh, I guess I can go through the sign. And now I'm just off-roading it. And for the time, this damage module was just amazing. I mean, it's a little dated now, but still a lot of fun, still entertaining nonetheless. One thing else I should note is, if I go to the options here, what is built into this game is hacks. And there are a couple of really cool hacks. One, the hornball, which I'll explain what that is. And then pave the world, where it turns the entire world into pavement. W, of course, is wheelie. You can also change up your car. So if you don't want to play as the Viper, there's a plain option, an exotic, a sedan, and a sports car. But let's just pick the sedan, for example. You'll see now here I have a sports sedan. I am no longer a Dodge Viper. But if I hit E, which is my horn, actually I think it's H. See how a ball just shoots out of my car? I can actually shoot the other drivers as I race, which is just hilarious. And no, even at the time, I always thought this car looked so stupid because of how boxy it was. I was like, even then, I was like, okay, they didn't try very hard, like with these hacks. But I mean, I'm glad they added them. But man, this game just plays so phenomenally on this machine. It's better than I experienced it as a kid by far. It's pretty easy to just damage your car to pieces. Oh, I missed him! I just want to shoot one person with the horn ball. Which is such a stupid name. I don't think I'm going to get my opportunity. But it is a really fun game. Still fun to this day. I can still waste an hour here and there just coming back to this every once in a while. There is a paint shop so you can customize your cars, which is just incredible. I just want to draw all over my car. Notice how it's, I mean, do whatever I want. There are templates you can choose from. I won't save those. And this is what really entices like the modding community, is the ability to change your chassis, your alignment, your drivetrain, your aerodynamics. I mean, this is what really got the game a really popular modding community, was the ability to do all of this stuff in a game for this time. And this game came out in, I want to say 1998. Yes, 1998. So for that time, I mean, it was seen in other games like NASCAR racing and stuff, had things like this, but this one really got a pretty good community. And I've heard that there are some pretty amazing mods out there to not only play this online still with other people, but really upscale the game in terms of its graphics, which now that I have this computer and I plan to start doing more stuff with it, maybe this is the one I do it on. I can get this online pretty well. This actually does run the internet fairly well. Again, it is, though, very unsecure, so we'll see. But that is, in a nutshell, one of my favorite games of all time, and that is Viper Racing. And that is, folks, a rather brief rundown of the Dell XPS M1210. Considering it's still just entering the nostalgic, retro phase of its life, about all that you can really say about a machine like this right now. It's definitely something I'm happy I have in my possession, as I know as time goes on, this is going to be, and is currently, my favorite Windows XP gaming laptop. I mean, it just will play anything you throw at it, which is amazing. And I wish I could say the same for like my Compaq or pretty much any other computer, with the exception of the T43. That one does very well as well, the IBM ThinkPad T43. But again, that's because it's at the same era of this one, almost just on the cusp of becoming nostalgic. If I ever do get my hands on a M1710 XPS, will be a very great day. Again, that is my favorite XPS to ever have emerged from the XPS family, and one I think just still looks as aesthetically appealing and as beautiful as it did as the day it came out. Just one of the coolest looking laptops. One thing to note on this is the Media Direct software, which unfortunately is not installed on this machine. Now, it is something I could install with what came here, but there's a reason I'm not willing to go down that road. It operates, you can turn this on using the Media Direct button at the top of the keyboard here, and utilizing these buttons would be able to utilize this as like a CD or DVD player separate from the operating system. So, I mean, just something to note at how much they were trying to boast laptops in this era as media centers, portable media centers. I mean, this doesn't get any better than that. However, the reason that I'm hesitant to do this is I would have to wipe the computer and start over. And I haven't seen a way around that. So if anyone knows of a way around that, please do let me know. I can't currently find one, and I just know that I'm not going to use this functionality enough to really care. It just doesn't need to happen. I don't even own a DVD at this point. So it would be great to be able to just use a CD player as a CD player, but I mean I can do that with the operating system on. So I don't need this, but maybe one day we can explore that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Goodbye.